All right, Steeler fans, welcome back. It is time for the, sometimes good, best segment. I don't know, half of the show where we do the over-under game. We talk about our predictions and we do some Steelers trivia. And Dave, I'm looking at my sheet here. I don't even know if I want to hear how I did because it was rough.
Well, because you pounded the over the whole time?
I was just hammering the over last week, and boy, did I look stupid.
You got one.
That's about right.
The only one you got was Steeler sacks.
Yes.
You took the over.
So does Brian pass me up?
Brian and I each got 3.
Hey, good for you.
So my overall lead opens up a little bit more, but Brian and Jeff are much closer now. Brian's only 1 behind Jeff. So it's Brian with 26, Jeff with 27, and I'm at 32.
Okay. So this one's tough. The Steelers are just so unpredictable right now.
Oh, wait. One thing I was going to say.
Yeah?
You've got to give some kudos to the odds makers out there. Not you particularly this time, Jeff, but you hit some good lines in the past. But what was the over-under on this game?
The last game was 42.5.
And what was the total?
Last week?
Yeah.
42.5.
No, but what was the actual total?
Oh, what was it? What was the final? 30-10?
That was 30-13.
30-13. Dang, they do know what they're doing. They do know what they're doing.
They know.
Like that's why you brought up.
I missed an over/under on Sunday because who was it that freaking missed the extra point that caused it to go under instead of over?
You mean Boswell?
Oh no! On a Sunday game.
Oh,
I missed the over/under on a Sunday game because of a missed extra point.
Well, you were also the one that said, how much does Mike Tomlin have on the over when he called those timeouts at the end of the Colts game? And they were like, fine, you're going to call timeouts. We're going to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do this. Over under for Steelers versus Bengals in week 16. Here we go. Let's go with Brett Rudolph, the third. We're just doing passing yards here. I've got 205.5. 205.5. And I don't know. I've got a hunch here, but we'll let Brian go first.
I'm going to over because I think he's going to sling the pig. I just don't feel like I don't know if it's going to be a winning effort, but I think he'll complete a whole lot more than what Mitch would.
All right. Dave?
All right. I'm making sure I get this down right. You said 205.5, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Brian took the over. That one's tough. Gosh, believe it or not, I think I'm going to take the over. Because I think if this was a team that I thought they could just run the ball and have the lead, I don't expect the Steelers to have the lead. So I think you might just have to fling it, maybe connect on 1 or 2 deep ones. I'm going to take the over.
Going under.
Oh,
I'm going
Jeff's
under.
breaking the trend.
Going under. I thought that last week, heck, Mitch was trailing, and you think they got to throw it to come back in. The dude didn't. What do you have? Like 150 yards passing last week or something like that? It was bad.
Something like that.
I don't even want to look it up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Pittsburgh Steelers team rushing yards, 120.5. 120.5. Brian, over under.
I am actually going to go with the under here. I feel like they can penetrate, but I don't know how deep. So I'm just going to go ahead and say under.
I'm going to say that's what she said. And let's go. Dave, what is your penetration prediction here for the Steelers rushing yards?
I probably should have taken the under on the Rudolph, because I am going to take the over on the rushing. I don't know that the Steelers are going to get anyone rushing more than 70 yards, but I think they can hit 121 as a team.
I'm going to go over as well. I think the Steelers do run the ball well. DJ Reader not being in the lineup should help this
he's good.
Offensive line because he's a monster. All right, next go to the third one. Pittsburgh Steelers sacks of Mr. Browning or any Bengals quarterback. Set it at 2.5.
Let's go over with the 3.
Okay. Dave?
The Steelers, they haven't even hit 40 sacks yet this year. You know what? I'm going to go under because I think they're going to be throwing the ball quick enough, but based on the weak middle of the field in the passing game.
I'm going to say that TJ Watt might do this himself, but
would love
I'm going over. I'm going to go over. I think that they're due, and TJ Watt typically plays well against Cincinnati. He typically plays well against Cincinnati.
If you look at what we have so far, every single one of them, we have 2 overs and an under, and a different one of us has been the under every time so far.
Well, let's see if this trend continues. Steelers takeaways. I've got the line at 1.5. What do you think, Brian?
I don't like this for takeaways, especially with the disarray. I'm going to have to go under.
Dave?
Bengals are tied for first in protecting the football, least amount of turnovers this season. I'm going under.
I too am going under because I listened to the Stat Geek this morning, and
if they get one, they're doing well.
Yeah,
they might not even do that.
Absolutely. And let's go with let's have a fun one. Okay, Christmas is here, folks. Defensive touchdowns. Set it at 0.5. Brian, does the defense break through and actually score a touchdown?
I'm going to have to say under.
Dave?
You can't change it now. I'm taking the under. But if you would have said defense or special teams, I might have taken the over.
I'm taking the under. I don't think that they score, although if they do, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Seriously, if you don't include special teams,
I'd
have thought about it more.
It would be really awesome if like Joey Porter Jr. had a pick 6 in this game. And because because they're playing the Bengals and because of the history with his dad, and he was at the William Gay era and Christmas coming up, he does the old, remember William Gay's antler dance and stuff. And that would be fun.
I have to say this,
Maybe
though.
I'm speaking it into existence.
Yeah. If you were the Cincinnati Bengals and you look at the Steelers defense, why would you throw anywhere close to Joey Porter?
I don't know. Jake Browning might not be the smartest cat ever.
I think he knows well enough what he's doing.
Maybe. We'll see. With no Jamar Chase. I mean, he targeted when Jamar Chase was in the lineup. When that's Jamar Chase, I get it. But T. Higgins, does he trust T. Higgins like he trusts Jamar Chase? We'll see.
We'll see.
So
Last game, there was no T. Higgins. This game, there's no Jamar Chase.
Correct. So we'll see.
But remember, T. Higgins was the one who accused him of giving up.
Yeah.
Last year. Was that last year?
Well, Tyler Boyd had some poignant comments.
No, you're right. It was Tyler Boyd. It was the former.
And he was talking again this week, saying that this team camaraderie is no good. Anyways, let's talk about some predictions now. The Cincinnati Bengals, the line that I had might have changed, but I've got the Bengals -2 in Pittsburgh. So the Steelers are home dogs here with a total of 37. All right, Mr. Davis, go ahead. What's your prediction?
I am going to go with the under here. And I'm going to go with, unfortunately, I'm going to go with a Pittsburgh Steelers loss here. So let's go ahead and say, I'm trying to do the math in my head, 37. So we're going to go 24-13.
Oh.
Is it 37.5?
No, it's just if that happens, that's going to be absolutely awful.
You took the push. You took the push.
Oh, I took a push. Well, then I don't.
No, you're fine.
24-16.
That puts you
Actually,
over.
you know what? I like 23-17. Let's go with that.
Which one is it?
I have no clue. I can't do math in my
head. Spin the wheel. See what we get.
Okay.
40.
Final answer?
The total is 37.
Okay. I'd say go with the 24.
23-13.
23-13. Okay. That's a good one.
Okay, Dave, what's your prediction?
I don't know. I just something about this tells me that the Steelers might score some more points than they have because, like we said, the Bengals defense isn't that great, but they do keep teams from scoring points. I think the Steelers could get up there with their points better than they have been, but I still don't think that it's enough to win the game. I'm majorly pounding the over on this one, and I'm going Bengals 30-24.
Bengals 30, Steelers 24. Wow. They put up
24 Steelers keep giving up 30, so might as well.
They put up 24. That would be just like huge for that Steelers team.
And you'll be like, oh, they scored points, but the defense couldn't.
What a breakout game that would be for the Steelers, which is funny. Okay, so time for the real fan to make his prediction. And This is a game. I thought this would have been last game where you're kind of like, man, this is a Tomlin special, right? No one's predicting him, all this stuff, backs against the wall, team in turmoil, so to speak. It didn't happen last week. We know that. But I think it happens this week. I think that the Steelers and their pass rush, they're going to have to lean on that pass rush really, really to the max. Like, it's going to be paramount on defense. And then on offense, I think they run the ball well enough. I've actually wrote this down before I looked up the total. Steelers 20, Bengals 17, which is a straight up push in the over-under with the total of 37. And so I think the Steelers aren't going to go down. I don't think they're going to lose the rest of their games. I think if there's a game that they could win, I think it's at home here against the Bengals. We'll see if it plays out. But there you go. I take the Steelers 20-17.
But look at the Steelers' progression.
Oh, it's not good.
You could, assuming Baltimore is going to have something to play for, you could look at the Steelers' last 6 games and make an argument that the ease of the game has gotten more difficult each and every one. It means a toss-up between Arizona, New England, Indy, Cincinnati, who I think is a little bit better than Indy, then Seattle, who I thought was really falling off until Monday night, which I didn't watch any of that game now, and then Baltimore. So you keep saying this is when they could come back. Each week it seems like it's just a little bit more difficult than the week before.
We'll see. All right, let's do some Steelers trivia to finish out the show. Brian, go ahead.
All right, so this game is being played on December 23rd at home, and it's the 51st anniversary of the Immaculate Reception.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers did not play on that anniversary last year. They played a day later, and they did play the same team. But how many times do you think the team has played since that fateful day at the confluence of the Three Rivers? And what do you think their record is?
So the record on the 23rd of December.
Yes. Since the 1972.
I'm going to say they've played, I don't know.
Talking
8.
I'm going to go 10. And I'm going to say their record is 8-2.
Gentlemen, you both went over. It's actually 6.
6.
And their record is 4-2 in that time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the last two, they were 4-0, and the last 2 games were losses. One of those games, not the last one. The last one was that Juju fumble in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
Where they lost that game 28-31. But the game before was 2012, and it's going to be played on the 11th anniversary of the Steelers losing 13-10 at home to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ew.
Before that, 1990 Cleveland 35-0. 2001 Detroit 47-14. Tampa Bay, the famous Monday night game, the paper champions game 17-7. And 2010 27-3. All in all, in that time, 164-68 is the point total. So the Steelers have scored 164, only given up 68. And this is the Steelers' last home game, last regular season home game of the year. What do you think their record is since 1970? Excuse me. I'm sorry, in the Mike Tomlin era on their last game of the year, their last regular season game of the year.
Since 2007, the
last regular season home game of the year?
Last regular season home game.
Oh, they've been winning a lot of those. I've been at several of those. Let's see. Because when I think of them dropping the last one of the seasons, those were on the road, like in 2019.
I'm going to say they only have 3 losses in those games.
So we're talking, is it fit? Okay. 2007 to now, is it 16 or 15 that we're talking about? Because we don't know this one. I'm trying to do the math.
16.
This will be 16.
This
right?
will be 17. So they played.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Games.
So they have 16. So
yes.
I'm going to say they're 13-3. They win a lot of their last home games.
Jeff?
I said 3 losses as well.
So you're going 13-3?
Mm-hmm.
It's 14-2.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
I'm not surprised.
All
Just
right.
thinking back on them.
Good trivia, Brian.
When's the last time they lost their last home game, Brian, of the season?
Well, actually, with Mike Tomlin, the very first loss was his very first season, and I don't believe that it happened again until recently. Oh, I could tell you what it was. Dave and I, we spooned that night. It
Was that their last home
2019.
game of
Yes,
the
that was their
season?
last home game. They played their last two games at New York Jets and at Baltimore.
You're right. They were both on the
Wildcat
road.
game. The Wildcat
Yes,
game.
yes. So you're right. That one was that because I knew it was earlier than we were now. So it's like, okay. I didn't think about that being their last home game of the season. So
All right. Dave, what's your trivia?
okay, my trivia is this. I decided I was going back all the way to 1970, and it was just taking a good bit of time. So I decided to ask a question that Jeff probably has no chance of answering, and Brian ran away.
No.
So no, because you can actually guess the number. I decided to just go back to 2000. Going back to 2000, the Pittsburgh Steelers are scheduled to, I got to say this, they are scheduled to start their third quarterback of the season this week.
Yeah.
That this year they will have the third starting quarterback of the season. In the 24 seasons, including this one, so you can count that one as one, in the 24 seasons from 2000 through 2023, how many times have the Steelers started three different quarterbacks during the year?
Well, definitely 2019.
Yep, because I'll ask you if you know what years, but yeah, 2019. And well, I told you we're going to go ahead and give you 2023. We're going to go ahead and count this one.
The year, what was that, 2010? No. Yes, 2010, because wasn't that Ben got suspended that year, so they had to play Dennis Dixon. Charlie Batch also played.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one.
Yes, 2010. And
yes.
Let's see, did you get that? And it was, Batch started 2, Dixon started 2, and Roethlisberger started 12.
What about 09? Ben had a concussion. I remember that year. I think he got knocked out of a couple games.
That one, he only missed one game in 09,
Okay.
and Dennis Dixon started that one.
I am going to go with 2004 because if I'm not mistaken, did Brian St. Pierre start a game there?
Brian St. Pierre did not start for the Steelers.
Okay.
Maddox came back in that last week.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was not.
There's got to be one. I remember Landry Jones playing in Kansas City, and it was atrocious. And I'm just trying to think if there's a third quarterback that started that season. I think that was like 2012.
So far, you guys have 3.
How many are there?
That was my question. How many are there?
We were just kind of trying to figure it out.
Let's say 5.
You'll say Brian will say 5. Jeff will take the shot of
4.
I think Byron started.
You're missing 3.
So there's 6.
So there's 6. So you've got 3, and there's 3.
What was the year that Leftwich started against the Ravens and got hurt on that scamper down the field? That season with Michael Vick and Ben, I think, started some games that year. What year was that, Brian? That would have been 3.
2015.
2015.
Yeah, because Landry
is a correct year.
Vic and Ben.
2015 is one of the years, but who did you say the 3 were?
I said Landry. Byron. I said Byron, but I missed that one. That wasn't the Byron year.
It was Landry, Vic, and Ben.
You were correct. Landry, Vic, and Ben in 2015. So you're missing 2 years.
What year was the Byron Leftwich year? Because I
think Byron Leftwich only ever started 1 game for the Steelers.
Yeah. So my question is, was there another?
And it was starter in a year where they had 3 starters.
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that was a year that Byron Leftwich was starting, and it's like, well, Charlie Batch wasn't there, or
he didn't show up until like 2000.
You've named
11.
You know the 3 quarterbacks. You just got to know the year.
Yeah, that's the
I'd say 12. Let's go with 12.
You're right. It's 12. It was
that the year that
Leftwich 1, Batch 2, and Roethlisberger 13.
Gosh, what is the year that Landry Jones started in Kansas City? That
I
is
think that's the one you already got.
That's
Was that
15.
2015?
was that 2015?
Yeah, because they had the Raiders game. He started again, and then Ben had to come in relief of him. And that was
Yeah.
the
That was
38
the
to
Browns
35
game that Ben had to
The
relieve.
Browns game
But
was
that was in
when Landry
2016, I
Jones
think.
in the first
Oh,
drive left
The
with an
Raiders
ankle.
game. The Raiders game. Landry came in relief. Ben got hurt in the Raiders game. The 38 to 35 when Antonio Brown set records.
So we missing one?
You got one more year. If I told you the 3 quarterbacks, I bet you would get the year.
I'm sure we would.
So St. Pierre never started.
Nope.
Was
There
there
was a
another
year-
year that it was Dixon, Batch, and Ben?
No.
Now 2005,
You've got
Maddox.
Ben and Batch in this year. What are you saying, Ben?
Was it 2005 with Maddox, Batch, and Ben?
Yep. That's it. That's the other one.
What game did Maddox start?
He started 2 games that year.
No, I mean Batch start, because I know the
Batch
games
started 2 games that year too.
Okay.
Batch was 2, Maddox was 2, Roethlisberger was 12.
Okay.
I have a follow-up question.
I'm drawing
So
a
if the
blank.
Steelers, out of 6 out of 24, they had 3 quarterbacks start. How many seasons from 2000 through 2023 did they have 1 quarterback start every game?
Since 2000 to 23.
Ben did it
Um,
recently. Wasn't it Ben's last season? Didn't Ben start every game in 2021?
I think so.
First, I'm asking you for how many.
Oh,
No,
We
Ben
didn't
did
even get
not
that
start
long.
every game in 2000.
We didn't even get the last one, did we?
Yeah,
Or
you
the
did. Yeah,
3?
2005. Because
Yeah.
Brian, you were at the game in 2021 that he didn't start.
Oh, yeah, I was. That's right. The tie.
Yeah.
Oh, the tie.
Okay. So how many seasons do you think they had where they had only 1 quarterback start games?
2. No. 1.
Yeah, I'll just go 2, but I think 2020's then one of them. All right.
Okay. Are you ready? Same answer as before. 6.
Wow.
Good Lord.
6 seasons in there that they only had 1 quarterback start. 2020, that is negatory because in 2020, Mason Rudolph started 1 as well.
Okay.
Rudolph started a game in 20 and in 2021.
That's correct, because it was a loss against the
That
Browns.
they should have. I mean, they almost knocked the Browns out of the playoffs that game because Mason did everything to win that game.
What about 2003?
2003, that is correct. One
Yeah!
Jefferson Bartholomew Hartman.
Tommy
Very
Gunn.
good.
Season, yeah.
Tommy Gunn
Tommy
started
Gunn.
all 16.
And didn't he also start in 2000 and was it 1? Didn't he didn't miss a game that year, did he?
No,
2001.
No, that was Cordell's
It's the
year.
correct answer, but not
It was
the correct
Cordell.
quarterback. It was Cordell.
So,
So the honest, as you guys have figured out, the other 4 are all Ben. So what years did Ben start every game?
well, it's
Gosh,
not
I can't-
2006 because he was out. 2007. I'm gonna say.
2007, he started 15. Batch had to start.
Ah,
08?
yeah,
08.
I'd go with 08. Yeah.
Started all 16 and 08. 3 more.
14. No,
14 is
wouldn't be
correct.
14.
Jeff, did you say something?
I was gonna say 11.
2011, they had he started 15. Batch started 1.
No. I'm out of guesses.
I'll go with 18.
2018 is the most recent one. That's correct. And the one you're missing was just before. They actually went back to back years of not missing a game.
17.
Nope, in 2013 and 2014.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There you go. Good
And
stuff.
I went back to 70, and at least go back to 70, the Steelers had never started 4 quarterbacks in a season. So I hate to tell you that, Trace McSorley.
There's still hope. All right.
So you tell me there's a chance.
Yeah. Okay, let's finish with some final thoughts here. Brian, go ahead.
We are all frustrated as hell with this football team. We are already, a lot of us are talking about next year, about this being Tomlin's last year, about trading George Pickens. A win this week would mean a whole lot, being that it is on that special anniversary, and it could give a lot of people a Merry Christmas in the Steel City and beyond, wherever you're following this team. So I picked against this team, but I'm going to be rooting like hell, because I don't care if I'm wrong on this show. And I'm wrong a lot on this show. And one thing I do is I own it. And the reason I own it when I'm wrong is we owe that to you, the fans that stick with this team and the fans that stick with us and have made Steel Curtain Network successful. So again, we can't do this without you. And we thank you so much for all the support. Jeff Hartman, Dave Schofield, two of my best buddies in the world. I look forward to this every single week, whether it's a holiday, whatever it is, whether it's just a regular day in June. Man, we're usually with each other on a Thursday night. And if we're not, one of us is calling in. So you guys are brothers to me. I appreciate y'all. Hope your families have a very Merry Christmas. To our live chat and anybody just driving down the road right now or 2 days from now, listening to this show, God bless you. We love you all. And thanks for being a part of our Steel Curtain Network family.
Dave Schofield, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. A lot like what Brian said. It's not that the Steelers can't win. It's that they've really developed a pattern of not pulling it through, both offensively and defensively, for the last 3 games. So therefore, it's difficult to pick the team to win because they're not a winning football team right now. But the great thing about the NFL, we can see that turn around. The Steelers, I said it on Stat Geek this morning, the Steelers are one of 3 teams that are on a 3-game losing streak. And the other two teams are in the playoffs right now, if it were to start right now, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Philadelphia Eagles. So they're in good company. Wow. But it just kind of goes to show that you can hit that area. And what's so bad with the Steelers is that it was the level of competition what they lost to. Now, does it mean that they can't turn it around? No, they can turn it around. Does it mean they will turn it around? I don't think many are expecting them to. But on Saturday, we'll get an opportunity to see, even if they don't turn it around until the very final game heading into the offseason, that'll still make me happy about it going forward. But I want to see this team turn it around, even if the talk of the postseason, the possibility of that is gone. I'm fine with that. I just want to see this team show that they can get back on track at some point. So I'm hoping to see it Saturday. I'm not going to fall for it if they go up again 13-0 early, just because of everything. But sometimes you can just get a feel of how the team is playing, regardless of the score. And that's what I want to see on Saturday. So I'm ready to come back Saturday night talking about this team, hopefully saying, man, look at how they changed their way of what they were playing, whether it changed the outcome or not.
My early Christmas wish list is simple. I just want to see an exciting game where the Steelers are scoring some points. I can watch with my kids and they can cheer and say, like, this is fun, and not 13 points in the first quarter and then nothing. Nothing. This team is unbelievably boring. Just give us excitement for once. Yep. That's all I want. That's all I want. All right. Good show as always. Brian, Dave, Merry Christmas, everyone watching live in the live chat or wherever you're seeing this or listening to this. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Be safe this holiday season. Festivus for the rest of us. Let's not forget that's the 23rd of December every year.
We can talk about that in the postgame.
Happy Festivus. Yes, I'm going to decorate the poll and we'll have an airing of grievances, I'm sure. So, yes, make sure you tune into that.
Yeah, but Brian has a different type of poll that he likes. Never mind.
All right, Dave, why don't you send us how you always do?
Hey.
We'll see you next week on another Steelers preview.